You're watching Sky
Project at the bottom of the table, but David Hume, the Widnes captain, knows that there can be no relaxation as far as this outfit is concerned, and there's certainly no relaxation on the faces of any of the Hull players, who are in their change strip tonight of blue with the blue and white diamonds on the sleeves. The pitch is firm underfoot, and that should make for a good fast open game. There's the Widnes team: Broadbent the fullback, Green, Devereux, Ruane and Hadley, Hammond and Singleton the halves, and the forwards: Ireland, McCurry and Makin, Collier, Myler and Hume. And on the bench, Darren Wright and Mike O'Neill. Wright, a Great Britain international, so too Mike O'Neill, 34 years old O'Neill. He's one of the veterans of the big league. Tim Street never takes a backward step. Discipline has been a problem for him this season. Sent off once and sin-binned no fewer than 5 times. Really will have to curb his temper if Hull are to have any chance at all of getting something from this match. But he leads by example, does Tim Street, and this is the Hull team. Kevin Gray, the young full-back, Mackenzie, Nolan, David, Vicona, Gay and Windley. And then we have Street at prop forward, Dixon the hooker, McNamara completes the front row, Rose and Sharp in the second row, and Busby the loose forward. And on the bench, Rob Danby and Anthony Chico Jackson. Those two between them, for joint coaches Walker and Windley, have scored 10 tries, so plenty of firepower on the bench for Hull. Tonight's referee, the marathon man, 34-year-old John Connolly, referee of the year the past 2 years in a row. So a vital match at the foot of the First Division table in the Stones Bidder Championship. Widnes take on Hull, and it's going to be Hull who get this game underway. Hull, Hammond with the first touch, and time for the big forwards to run that ball out, Paul Myler, but immediately a penalty against Hull.
Well, the second row is taken out there. Second rower Paul Myler, no chance to get it. It was a loose forward, Dean Busby, that was the man at fault. Well, referee John Connolly snapping his authority very early in the game. Talking of things early, how important for both sides to settle in as quickly as possible.
Anthony Singleton is the scrum half. He received it and passed it on to Craig Makin. We didn't mention him much in the build-up, but he's only 21, the young prop forward. He has been another of the great finds of this Widnes club over the past couple of years. And there's another head-high challenge, this time on Andy Ireland, and the second Widnes penalty in the opening minute. Connolly stamping his authority.
Well, Gary Nolan, the centre, moved up far too quickly, and you can see on the replay there that John Connolly sort of had enough players to pick from. Also, as you mentioned, a high tackle from Nolan.
So Widnes, 2 penalties in the opening minute here, and on something of a roll. They're 8 metres short of that line. Bounces off the chest of Ruane, and it's Hull who've got it back courtesy of Gary Nolan.
Well, it was a chance there. You could see that the centre, there was a huge gap. All he had to do was grasp it. That was 4 points gone begging. It was a hard pass though.
Yes, it was fired into the chest, it bounced off Ruane, and that's why Hull have got the ball back, and Tim Street, a little smile at the Widnes player who challenged him. John Sharp now with the run for Hull. Foot of the table, Hull. Playing now with certainly more confidence than they were a few weeks ago. That lovely ball there from Gary Rose finds Kevin Gray. And I think, Steve-O, it is said, isn't it, that when teams look doomed, they do lose a little bit of the pressure, and they do tend to play the better football.
Well, I don't know about losing pressure. With the drop just hovering upon them, Hull realises that these 2 games against Widnes tonight, and of course next Wednesday at the Boulevard, they have to win these 2. 1 will not be sufficient.
David Hume now for Widnes. And the point I'm making is the fact that Hull, everyone now expects them to go down. The pressure in that way is off them.
Well, yes, for the fans, but the players there will be keyed up. And I think you could see that in the opening minutes, that 2 penalties, and that's the 3rd penalty.
Well, it's 1 a minute at the moment for Hull, and Nolan again involved.
Well, he just pushes the man away. Well, a lack of discipline there. And 3 penalties is not the start. But I'm sure the coach, Phil Windley, would want.
Andy Ireland driving it in. It's a wonderful kick from the penalty that's put Widnes into this position. They're bang in front of the post here with Singleton, looking for the runner there, who is Paul Myler. From the dummy half, it's McCurry out the back door to Jason Green, trying to worm his way over. Mia David is there, and so too Mike Dixon. They just hold him out. But that's how close Widnes are. Not the best pass in the world. It evades 2 Widnes players. And Devereux now picks it up. First time we've seen Devereux on the big league this season. Ball out wide, that bounced off the knees of Hammond, and it's bouncing around all over the place. I'll tell you what, the pitch, Steve-O, is very, very firm, and there's quite a bit of wind swirling around Norton Park tonight.
Certainly is, but the passing wasn't all that good. It started with a poor pass from Steve McCurry. Carl Hammond did well just to pull the hands back, but it's been given as a knock-on. He allowed the advantage, did Connolly. It wasn't to be. That's why he's putting the scrum down there 10 metres in.
This is Richard Gay. 4th game in a row now at standoff half for the man who is regarded as perhaps one of the best full-backs in the world, but Kevin Gray ankle tap, and the referee pinning Widnes for offside at the play of the ball.
Well, it's an old thing, isn't it? The centres, they move up rather quickly. Tom Devereux was one of them, David Ruane. Some of the forwards. Well, Connolly has made it quite clear now that he just wants to have an open game. That's good for the viewers, good for the fans all round. And so it gets through to the brains of both sides.
McNamara with a good driving run for Hull. The dummy half is Dixon. He and now Tim Street taking it over. And for the first time, some pressure coming in on this Widnes line. 5 minutes gone.
Good play from the forwards there. Running onto the ball with a lot of vim and vigour.
John Sharp turns the ball back inside. Here's Dean Busby. Good run from Busby. Good defence though from Widnes, but Hull still 10 metres short of the line. Rose to Windley. Here's Sharp. Sharp using his body as a battering ram to try and get through those 2 Widnes defenders. Not so this time. Windley now turns the ball back to McNamara. Busby! Busby's in! Oh, what a start for Hull! That was lovely play. They switched the direction of the attack, and Dean Busby got in for his 6th of the season, and how vital that one might be.
Wonderful play from the halfback, back inside to McNamara. There wasn't a hint of a shepherd there. Well, there you can see it was Dixon that was stood in front, but according to the referee it was okay. Well taken from Dean Busby. It was a set pattern move. Out wide, it looked as though he was going to kick. Beautiful play from McNamara, but there you can see Dixon. Now, he never moved, and that's probably why they got away with it, but full credit to Hull. Out wide, looks how he swings it in. McNamara. Now then. Geez, I've seen shepherds being given for that before. The Widnes crowd, they're not happy. Here's try scorer Dean Busby.
Well, David Hume is going to the sin bin, and Tim Street is going with him. The referee pointed actually to his mouth, saying that they were saying something, but I think I spotted in back play a bit of a schmozzle going on between those 2. So both Hull and Widnes down now to 12 men for 10 minutes. Hume and Tim Street are in the bin, and that's the 6th time this season that Tim Street has found his way into the dugout for a 10-minute breather to let his heels cool. I mentioned his discipline right at the start of the match, and his discipline's let him down. McNamara's not let Hull down with that kick. The conversion stretches the advantage to 6 points.
When you pack the blind side like that and the switch comes of it, you can see the circled man failed to move in. And the try was taken, well taken by the loose forward, Dean Busby. What a start.
Dean Busby with the try then. And this maybe is why these 2 are off in the bin, Street and Hume. Locking horns just at that play of the ball as the ball moved away. But anyway, the referee did actually point to his lips as though there was some chatting going on, certainly by David Hume. He might well, Steve-O, have been protesting about Mike Dixon being used as the shepherd and obstruction not given.
To no avail. The 6 points are on the board Hull have got the start that they wanted. They said they were not going to throw the towel in. They are not going to go down into the second division. They're going to fight all the way.
What an escape it would be if they did pull up and maintain first division status. They have a very strong wind at their backs, and Hume is in the bin, and Tim Street is in the bin, and Adrian Hadley made a play for that kick, and I think it's bounced off him, and this will be Hull's head and feet.
Bad mistake there from Adrian Hadley. Really should have left it. You're going to stop it with your foot, make sure that you've got the balance to be able to regather. He didn't, he was going backwards. Well, things going well for Hull.
And they're in possession again here. This is Leroy McKenzie, Tavita Vaikona, beg your pardon. The dummy half is Richard Gay, and there's Mia David. They've got a man out wide here. It was Kevin Gray who was forced into touch. It was a good cover tackle by Jason Green.
Good play by the winger Jason Green there, and he never left his opposite. McKenzie trying to squeeze in at the corner. Nice run though from the centre Maya David. Impressed with the way that Hull are running the angles, trying to bring the defence towards them. They're making the half gap.
And they have the encouragement of that early try from Dean Busby, converted by Steve McNamara. McNamara now into double figures with his goal kicking this season. That was his 10th successful kick. This is Andy Ireland with the run, the witness prop forward. Aiming for only their third away win of the season at Hull. What a start they've got. 6-0 they lead. On a ground that's not been too kind to them over the years. They've only won here twice in the first division. That's lovely offloading though. Widnes trying to get back into this immediately. Ruane plays the ball quickly and finds McCurry. McCurry to Hammond, who drills it downfield. And this now is McKenzie. Leroy McKenzie, a lovely darting run. And can he take on the fullback Broadbent? Well, Broadbent stood up to him and was equal to it. Great tackle, and it had to be.
Oh, good thinking there from the hooker Mike Dixon. He could see that Widnes was slow to get back into position. He gained vital ground then.
Little Windley, and he is dragged to the floor by Devereux. Good job that the Welshman was there then. Hull at the moment running very hot. Here's Richard Gay, releasing the pass to Windley, and this is McNamara, scragged by Hammond, passes the ball inside and only to Hadley, but the referee will call it back for penalty to Hull. He allowed Hull the advantage.
McNamara trying to get the ball away, and you can see in the background there was interference. David Ruane took a man out. It was a support play. It was McNamara, I think, had got the ball away. Well, it's all happening here. McNamara tries to get it, and you'll see once the ball is away, it's a hooker that was taken down by David Ruane. Mike Dixon, well spotted by the referee.
Is in the sin bin.
Well, it was a professional foul. He prevented a certain try. If Dixon had been able to get there, they were gone, Widnes. Pretty hard for the referee to award a penalty try. You can see the youngster Gary Broadbent is the last line of defence. But well done though, Eddie, by the referee John Connolly. Hasn't he stamped his authority early?
Widnes then with 2 in the bin as McNamara comes in with his penalty and stretches the Hull lead. Well, what a start for Hull. They lead 8-0. Widnes with 2 men in the bin, Hull with 1, but it's eagle-eye John Connolly.
Watch how the ball was there. There was little doubt that the Ruane had taken out the hooker. Mike Dixon goes to ground. Ruane takes 10 minutes in the sin bin. It's even more woe for a Widnes side that should have started slight favourites playing at home tonight.
Well, they now have got 11 men and Hull have got 12. And as you say, Steve-O, the referee John Connolly really has stamped his authority on this match in the opening 12 and a half minutes.
He said, I'm the boss. And I think you also said, is he running the London Marathon?
He is in a fortnight, apparently, in a half marathon this weekend. Look at this from Hull. That's a forward pass. Well, there'll be some debate about this one on Humberside.
Never mind Humberside. I think there was some debate tonight from me. That looked A-OK. Gary Rose can't believe it. That looks okay.
Well,
He's made a
boo-boo.
boo-boo.
That angle, Steve-O. Difficult to tell, that angle.
I'll stake my wallet on it.
So steady. Well, it must have been forward. This is Singleton. We'll see it better now. Oh,
That is not
right.
forward. I wouldn't stake my wallet for nothing.
I think you might be right. Hull a bit hard done by. Widnes, the 11 men coming forward now with Hammond. Hammond saw a little gap. It was quickly closed down by Rose and Busby. Widnes want to get on with it quickly. Here's McCurry. There's Myler. This, though, is Singleton. Myler took the 2 or 3 defenders on a decoy run. Oh, and what an untidy play the ball that was. In fact, Hull got it back because somebody raked at Singleton when he went to play that ball.
Well, he made a real meal of it, trying to get up and get the ball quickly. Look at that. Now, once he kicked it forward, that was play on. He knew that he'd made a boo-boo.
I gave him the benefit of the doubt. I thought someone had raked at it. But it was the right mess. Here's Windley. And now Mia David. Hull has started brightly.
Well, they shell-shocked this Widnes side. They've got to get themselves sorted out. It's the old story of rolling up the sleeves and start getting through some hard work. And look at this!
Terrific run from Gray. It kicks for Mackenzie, and Mackenzie's after it, and it was a good job that Hadley was there too. Mackenzie so close to his first try in the professional game, but what a run from the young fullback.
And what a pass from Busby. See how he just held himself back, went into the gap. Hadley, awful bounce there. Leroy Mackenzie herring down. Keep your eye on this guy. This is one for the future. Kevin Gray.
That drop out against the wind hasn't gone far. Richard Gay takes over from the youngster Kevin Gray. Tries to swat away the second rower Andy Collier. Can't do so. Good ball from Rose. This now is Nolan. And Hull certainly enjoying better of the territory and enjoying the better of it on the score sheet too.
It's great play from Hull. The options are good. They're running the angle, dummy half. This defence is absolutely mesmerised at the moment.
Dixon's in at dummy half, and he's going on his own, Dixon, looking for the floor. And Hammond stuck to his task well. Hauled him down. Fingertips, just let him down, Windley. And Widnes breathe a big sigh of relief.
Well, it was a bit high, wasn't it? Windley wanted a quick ball, perhaps to get the kick in and apply more pressure. They've got to be offside. They never made it back. Hull made no attempt to get to the 10.
Widnes get on with it quickly with Andy Ireland. Tackling from Mia David, McCurry, and now it's with Broadbent. Broadbent is grounded on the halfway line. It was a good tackle by McNamara. Bit of support from Sharp also. McCurry there to Hammond. He helps it on wider to Makin. Makin almost through. And Windley just wouldn't be put off, would he? He held on to the big man's ankles, but Widnes still in possession. Hammond. The runner there is Myler. He's through the gap, but he slips.
Oh, Myler went onto the ball superbly, straight through to the gap. Not so sure the fingertip just ticked his ankle, put him over. But this is at a ferocious pace, this game.
Devereux dabs it over the top, looking for it to hang in the wind, and it catches a nasty bounce and finds touch. John Devereux, the Welsh international.
Well, you can see how strong this wind is. Chipped it over the top. At first, I thought it might have been a bit too strong, but the wind really is blowing into the Widnes face. So Hull realised that they needed to have plenty of points in this first half. I reckon this wind is about a 10 or maybe even 12-point advantage.
Well, the first two who went to the sin bin are back on. And David Ruane has still got 4 minutes to go in the sin bin. So David Hume and Tim Street are back on. Hull back to 13, Widnes still with 12. Hull being led superbly by McNamara and Richard Gay carrying the movement on.
I'm impressed with the way that the Hull forwards are turning in the tackle, keeping the ball alive.
McNamara was under pressure then from Myler. He got the kick in, but it was hurried and it caught the wind as well.
Clear indication of how big this wind is blowing to the Hull advantage in this first half.
Well, McNamara and Hull know that they have 6 games to go. after tonight. There's Widnes at home in midweek, Featherstone and Doncaster, and away, and this could well hold the key to their survival. They have to meet Leeds and Wigan before the end of the campaign. Shrill blast from John Connolly. Offside against Hull. Widnes get on with it quickly. That was a good tackle by Busby on McCurry. David Hume out of the sin bin. The captain now pushing Widnes forward. Hammond. Hume was there, and Hume ran across Hammond. Broad bent, all wrapped up by David.
Hint of a shepherd there, but they got away with it. Well, this is going to be fast and furious. The referee, Connolly, is making sure that this game is going 100 miles an hour.
John Devereux looking for a penalty. None was forthcoming. Not the best ball that Broadbent's put in all season. Macon made the most of it.
He forgot he was going to be a dummy runner. They lost the marbles there.
Hammond, a lovely short ball to Hume, but the referee rules it forward. Well, that's one apiece now.
Well, I think he's right on that occasion. He delayed the pass just a little bit too long. What a talent this standoff is. He really has been defined. The idea was there, the loose forward David Hume charging through, but he just held on to it to the youngster Hammond too long.
Windley then will feed the scrum, and here's Richard Gay taking on Hammond, his opposite number, and Myler comes in too. Tackle completed standing up, bit of argy-bargy between Gay and Myler off the ball. Near David with the Steve-O haircut. Plays the ball to Nolan, and this is Tim Street. Sharp to Busby. Dean Busby, remember we saw him make his debut on Sky. Oh, it seems a long time ago now. It was against Featherstone in 1991. It was a long time ago. 4 years.
Do you know that last comment? It hurt. I've just had a look at all the players. There's not one quiff amongst them.
Little dab through there by Kona.
This is great defence from Hull. They really are fired up. Even though Vicona got the ball away, there was defenders just charging through. Tenacious tackling.
Jason Green plays it to Steve McCurry, who in turn finds Andy Collier. We're midway through this first half, and Hull with the 8-point lead, but with a gale at their backs. And David Hume is grounded 2 meters inside his own half. McCurry gets it away now to Macon. Last tackle here for Widnes. They're just 10 meters inside the Hull half. It's with Hammond. He drills one over the top. Kevin Gray has positioned himself well. The ball held up in the wind also. The wall arrives, but Gray goes past one, but can't get away from John Devereux.
Safety first from the youngster there, Kevin Gray. Nice position. But what a great run from this fella.
That's the second from Mackenzie. McNamara. And David Ruane, by the way, has returned from the sin bin as he's watching Mike Dixon with this run. Oh, what a good tackle from the fullback. Broadbent made the ball spin out of his arms, but Hull were able to pick up the pieces. This is Street.
Good play there by John Windley. Instead of trying to just kick the ball forward, he made sure it went backwards. Kept it alive.
Now Kevin Gray to Dixon again. Dixon, oh, Devereux took the dummy. They're loaded up out wide here. Busby slips on the only bit of lush turf on Norton Park. This is Vicona inside to David. It sticks somehow. And Widnes are at 6s and 7s to try and keep this Hull side out. Windley, diagonal kick, and Sharp was after it, and Sharp gets it. John Sharp with the try. And what a time to score your first try of the season. A rare try here in a narrow defeat in 1992. Is John Sharp on the way to winning money at Norton Park?
Wonderful run from the hooker Mike Dixon, put them in the position for that. They were very slow at getting their second marker there, Widnes. And this is where Windley does well. Keeps the ball alive with his foot, and from it, a neat little kick. And there you can see, John Sharp, the second rower, was onside. And what a bad mistake. Well, it's all going right for them. He's a talent, this youngster, Johan Windley. And I'm afraid the winger, Green, made a real meal of it. Not that that man will worry about it. well taken. It was a set move, and it came off well.
249th appearance for John Sharp tonight, and he has punctuated that appearance with his first try of the season. Steve McNamara, 2 from 2 tonight. Do I detect a little smile on the face of the Hull captain? He's had not much to smile about all season, but this start, in a gale force wind, it has been a whirlwind beginning to this match by Hull. And McNamara has hit the post. That came in on the wind and just went at the last minute. Hit the post, 12-0 Hull.
He'd all the time in the world, hadn't he, Johan Windley? And you can see that Sharp's onside. But Green did the right thing. He was in the right position. Trouble is, he forgot to accept the football. What a blunder. And 4 points for that man.
It's the Hull supporters who have made the long journey across the M62 to be here tonight, who are singing in this crowd at the moment. Russ Walker is one of the 2 men in charge of Hull, and Russ Walker now talking to Bill.
Russ, still a long way to go, but this must have been the start you were dreaming of.
It certainly is. Obviously, we prefer to be in front from the off. Obviously, we're playing with a very strong wind behind our backs at the moment, and you know, the lads are controlling the ball well. We're getting good yards. I say it's all down to ball control at the moment, and we're meeting them in defence. So 12 points on the board after 24 minutes or so, you know, couldn't be better at the moment.
But obviously you think this wind is going to be something you're going to have to contend with in the second quarter.
Yeah, certainly, much so, because, you know, that's why we've got to control the ball now. Let them do the tackling, and then hopefully, you know, they could be sufficiently tired, and then we've got to do it in the second half, but, you know, still go forward.
So presumably when you're going out on the pitch, the message is keep in control and keep cool.
Yeah, control the ball. Concentration's a big thing. You know, keep concentrating on the job in hand.
Super start for Russ Walker and Phil Windley, the joint coaches at the Boulevard. 12-0. I doubt, Steve-O, if it has been as good as this for them all season.
Well, they fully deserve it because they're working hard. As I mentioned earlier, they're running the angles. The options have been good. They've used the kicking game to full benefit. And this man at dummy half, he really has split them apart from the running away from the dummy half position. The marker in the Widnes side, bit of a panic pass there from Sharp, but the second marker, especially in the Widnes defence, is just falling down. It's not moving around quickly.
Broadbent picks himself up, and Widnes know they need to inject something here pretty quickly. David Ruane trying to do just that, but Sharp hanging on to his bootlaces to bring him down. Now McCurry through a little gap, looking for support, so he takes Kevin Gray on the outside, brushes him away. Again he looks for support, nobody there, and eventually he's hauled to the ground by his collar.
Well, he'll not throw the towel in. Steve McCurry, he's had a few good runs so far. He's a neat dummy.
But twice, Steve-O, he looked round for support, nobody there.
That's been their problem. They're just not getting it into gear. And you could see there that Carl Hammond was a little bit lost for the kick. He's got to give himself more room, stand back a little bit. They are well and truly rattled, this Widnes side.
Sharp and David now. 26 and a half minutes gone. The best start to a Hull match all season, and on a ground that's not been kind to them over the years. Just 2 wins from 16 visits to Norton Park since 1973 in the First Division. Trying to force the pace there. Kevin Gray trying to use the footwork. The referee will pull them back for first knock on.
Well, a little bit too adventurous from the prop forward Steve McNamara in an impossible position. No, I'm afraid the percentage is against you there, Steve. Idea may have been okay, but you've got to make sure that there's no heavy traffic.
Hammond then gets the ball away to Broadbent. Good tackling by Kona and David. Mia David only just back in this Hull side after a broken jaw, and he really has made a difference. That was Singleton who got it away to Ireland. Ireland gets it away to Hadley. Hadley, the Widnes leading try scorer with 11 touchdowns, but no room for him to exploit there, and losing his cool a bit against the challenge from Gary Rose. Ruane.
Well, they certainly need something from their star, Carl Hammond, who scored 9 tries in the last 7 games. They certainly need something from him now.
a little tester in this wind. That's blowing around all over the place. It bounces back kindly for Widnes. Oh, but the referee has given Hull the penalty for someone pulling back while the ball was still in the air.
Well, it was swirling around there, and you can see it's Devereux that's taking the little halfback, Johan Windley, out. Crunch time. Even the referee can't miss that. There you see it. Get out of the way. Pretty difficult in this wind, though, for the youngster, Kevin Gray. But he's acquitted himself very well. Super break early on.
Windley's down receiving treatment. Penalties 5-4 in Widnes' favour. Good to see John Devereux back in the Big League 2. We were talking about Mia David's broken jaw. Of course, who will ever remember the horrific broken jaw that Devereux suffered against Mal Meninga for Wales in that international in Cardiff that we covered on Sky in the tour. It really was a shocker. But he's fully fit now and back and playing well for Widnes. Well, playing well before tonight. Not really had much chance, has he, so far, Steve-O, to show up?
No, I'm afraid that the breaks that have come. Another neat kick from the youngster, Johan Windley. There you see, this time he gave himself plenty of room, plenty of time. Yes, I'm afraid the chances that they've had at Widnes on a couple of occasions, and it comes from Steve McCurry, running from the dummy half. They look a bit tired to me, especially in defence. I keep harping on about this second marker, but on a few occasions, some of the forwards have just been resting instead of working.
Possession still very much Hull's, as it is on the scoreboard. Coming up to half an hour gone here at Norton Park, 12-0. Now Broadbent, what can he inject into this attack? Oh, a good job that Gray got a hand to that. It would have been try time because Hammond was away.
Well, he took the gamble, didn't he? Full-back on full-back. Two youngsters we mentioned before the start of this particular game. They really are talented, Broadbent and Gray.
A good job he got a hand to it because he'd been sucked in and Hammond was there and the rest of the field was beckoning for Carl Hammond, and he's no slouch. Now, Devereux didn't play that properly. He was interfered with.
Well, that's good refereeing. He could have given a penalty, but the advantage has been gained.
Ruane, and he gets the pass away to Hadley. Hadley trying to use his strength to run over the top of Rose. Rose standing up to the challenge well. David Hume to Carl Hammond. Ball again. Ball to nobody.
Little knock on though, picked up I think by the referee. Oh, I'm not so sure. Well,
Richard Gay doesn't believe it either.
He said, I never left it, sir, and I think he's right. Pretty difficult and under a lot of pressure. Hard to say.
Hammond looking for something, getting away almost from Dixon, finding Devereux. Chance here maybe for Devereux's strength. Rose with the tackle. Devereux felt that. This is Makin, big, tall prop forward, trying to stretch out.
Watch for McCurry.
McCurry spins the ball into the arms of Hume, and David Hume at last for Widnes. David Hume with a try, a spell in the sin bin, and his fourth try of this season. Former Great Britain international.
Well, they all went for McCurry, expecting him to go from the dummy half. The sliding defence was slow to go across. It was Dean Busby that was caught out. It's all right when you're doing it tight, but if you get caught, you've got to push out wide. And I'm afraid Busby was slow at his opposite number. That is a well-taken try. It was... Well, this all it came about from the knock-on, and I'm not so sure that it was. It's hard to define. Let's give the referee the benefit of the doubt, but either way, they will not be complaining. They're back in the game.
David Hume with the try, the longest-serving man on Widnes' books, made his debut, would you believe, 15 years ago in 1980. Now Adrian Hadley. He's found a little niche for himself, as most Welshmen do, as a goal kicker this season. 68 so far. This, though, is a very, very difficult opportunity in this wind. Tried to slice it underneath the wind, but instead pulled it wide of the posts. Widnes 4, Hull 12. David Hume's try, Widnes back in it.
There you see the sliding defence. The arrowed man there, Dean Busby, should have filled in. It was too late, but well taken by his opposite, David Hume. And what a time to come back. They needed it. They were all at sea, Widnes.
Hume's first try in the big league since day one of the season. A timely little four-pointer from Mr. Hume.
What a servant to this club as well. David Hume, of course the Hume brothers. They've been around a long time.
Yeah, he missed the 1982 Premiership final between these two sides, but he played in the three others. And he was First Division Player of the Year in 1989. Chico Jackson has come onto the field for Hull. And it's Dean Busby who has gone off, so Anthony Chico Jackson on the bench for the fourth match in a row, 6 tries under his belt this season. The whole coaching staff just mixing and matching in terms of the members of the pack.
Well, he's made it quite clear that it was Dean Busby that missed that tackle, didn't fill out. Obviously there may be something wrong with the loose forward Busby. By the way, Hull are not going to take the gamble.
Now Andy Collier, formerly with Lee, of course. Collier joined in the summer. This David Hume, lovely ball to Andy Ireland. Wrestled to the floor by Gary Nolan. It's the last tackle here for Widnes. And the strength of that win, that ball was kicked forward and has come right back. And Hammond has come up with a knock on, but that ball went forward in an arc and came back.
Well, for any youngster watching, that is not how to accept a football. You notice the arms were down. You've got to go up and bring it down into your body. Certainly not copybook stuff, that.
Mia David. 3 men closed in. It was 2 to bring him down. David Hume and John Devereux. Dixon to Windley. He gives it to Street. Good tackling. Macon and David Hume. Dixon to Sharp. And Sharp taking on McCurry, and McCurry standing up well. Dixon, and here's the sub, Jackson.
Once again, we are seeing the Widnes second marker. They're not working.
That's why here for Hull. They're going to run it. And this now is Dixon. Oh, and Dixon went down, and as he went down, he lost it. An opportunity for Broadbent to run it out again.
They were lucky there because Dixon was well through the gap. They've got to sort this out, Widnes. Just in and around the ruck at the play of the ball. Their coach, Tony Milo, must be screaming at them.
Less than 5 to go to half-time. Adrian Hadley was pushed down for a second occasion. And the referee will give the penalty. And he wants a word with Steve McNamara. What's more?
I think that'll be the warning. Any more? You saw him just touch the pocket. And I can tell you, people, he has 2 cards in there. In fact, 3. Also has the blood bin.
Well, you got there in the end. That'll be the 3-card trick then, Steve-O. Steve-O's on the floor at the moment. This is Singleton, and he gets it away to Myler, and Singleton takes the reverse pass.
I didn't have the heart, Eddie, to say that you were the joker, my friend.
Oh, McCurry to Hume.
This is where they've got to make it count now. They've got to really come onto it, run the angles and try to drag that defence across.
Devereux unloads the pass. Hume keeps the movement going, and the Ireland.
He's worked hard, the big prop forward.
What a time for Widnes to score another if they can here. 3 to go before half-time. Ball bounced. Referee says play on. Bounced off the post.
Gee, McKenny was there as well.
Penalty Hull.
And now they'll get the warning.
Yes, David Hume being pulled by referee Connolly. 1, 2, 3. 3 cards in the pocket, no more. 3-card trick.
Well, you can see there, he was all over the top of him. Well, it's a professional foul, and it was well picked up by John Connolly. I must say, he's had a fine game as Connolly. Missed 1 forward pass, but that's pretty good, isn't it?
Jackson. Takes that play the ball to himself. Oh, Devereux went for it. Good run that from Jackson. Good quick thinking by the Hull substitute. Now here's Tim Street. Windley. Colin. David Hume would not leave him alone then. It was Andy Collier, beg pardon. It was Paul Myler. I'll get it right in a minute. This now is Richard Gay. Now Mia David. Windley's there. Keeps the movement going, but not the best. Timmy Street. Straightening up. Last tackle for Hull.
What power in the prop forward, Tim Street there.
Windley, another little dab through. And there's a bit of a problem here for Collier, and he can't get away from David.
Well played there by Maya David. It's a beautiful little kick though from Windley. He's pressing the heart out of this Widnes defence. He had all the time in the world. He's a talent. Look to the future. We have plenty of those out on this paddock tonight.
Nasty bounce then from the dropout, and Widnes get it back courtesy of Hume. It caught in the wind, bounced appallingly for Hull, and Widnes got it. This is Jason Green.
Tenacious tackling once again.
Oh, he thought he wasn't held then. Devereux just straightened up and exploded out of the blocks then, almost the Welshman.
Good job that Jackson just clipped his heels. He was off.
McCurry the dummy half. Andy Ireland, the prop forward, takes it into Hull territory. Entering stoppage time in this first half. Hammond with a long loping pass out wide. Referee says it was legal. David Ruane, still going Ruane. Lovely run from Ruane. Support there from Singleton. This is the last tackle, remember. Hadley gets it away to Ruane again. Tenacious attack this. Hammond, he won't go down. Still going on. McCurry, the loaded out wide, making. Devereux, they're going to score. Oh, that's a breathtaking try. That's one of the best tries of the season. They might be down, but Widnes are certainly far from out. They kept that ball alive on the last tackle, and Devereux over for a super try.
I thought you were going to need oxygen at one point, Eddie. Talk about second effort. Keep the ball alive. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Ruane started it all. Wonderful play from Singleton, and then they all got in on the act, didn't they? In and out. Again, Hammond onto the fullback. Long ball out wide. And the prop forward. And Devereux. Oh, that is super stuff. Champagne Charlie all the way.
Terrific try from Widnes. Harking back that to the good old days here at Norton Park. And John Devereux, well, I said he broke his jaw against the Australians in October, but he's on the comeback trail all right. 5 tries now in the last 8 games. Terrific effort from Devereux and the rest of the Widnes team. They all got involved in that. And it really has put Widnes back in this match with a vengeance. And if Hadley could kick this goal off the touchline, it would put them back to just a 2-point deficit. And look at that flag on the clubhouse at Norton Park. It's standing stiff out off the pole. And Widnes will have that wind at their backs in the second half. Hadley tried to clip it and use the wind, but it's gone in front of the post. But a 4-point deficit for Widnes. A match that at one stage looked in danger of running away from them. It's half-time at Norton Park. Devereux with the try, a truly magnificent effort right on the stroke of half-time. And you can see the smile that he's got. And he's pointing, I think, at the Sky studio. He's just seen Clive Griffiths, the Welsh coach, in there. David Hume, time in the sin bin, and has come back and has pulled his team up by their bootlaces. Hull thought they were in for a really good night here. They led 12-0 at one stage. But now they're back, and Widnes are within 4 points. Widnes have scored more tries than any other side, 48 before tonight, so now they've hit 50 in the big league. Hull's poorest defence has conceded 113 before tonight. Only Doncaster have shipped in more. It's 12 points to 8 to Hull. They emerge for the second half, and Phil Windley's younger brother, Johan, he is really the man at the moment making Hull tick. And he must be playing well in this Hull side, because he's keeping the likes of Mark Hewitt on the sidelines, and he too is an outstanding youngster. Tim Street, spelling the sin bin, bit of a bloody eye, but a man who will carry the battle through in this vital match at the bottom of the Stonesborough Championship, right the way through to the final siren. It's Widnes who restart then. They have a very strong wind at their backs, and I am sure that their coach, Tony Myler, will have told the men in black to try and utilise that gale force wind if they possibly can.
Little doubt that the Hull fullback, Kevin Gray, will expect plenty coming at him in this second 40 minutes.
Loses the ball. The referee says knock on is the decision against Nolan, but Nolan believes the ball was knocked out or stolen.
I think he's right.
I think he's got a case.
Yeah, the impact of his shoulder hitting the ground. What a bad mistake there by Nolan. They've only got a 4-point lead. Possession is paramount.
So Widnes with a big chance at the start of this second half to get the scores level. Devereux, who got that try right on the stroke of half-time, that has put Widnes back in the hunt here. Hammond, and McCurry was walking as he collected that, but now he gets another movement going via Hammond to Hume. Hume brings the second rower Myler into it. Myler all wrapped up by John Sharp, his opposite number. David Ruane, been a slippery customer to try and bring down in that first half, and he's starting the second half again in exactly the same vein. Broad bench for dummy half. Hammond gives it to Singleton. Good tackling that by Richard Gay. Little signal there from Hammond. He's going to go that way, and he did. It's Devereux. Devereux using his power, and he's just held up.
So
That's
strong.
On the last tackle, it's for turnover.
So strong, John Devereux.
Another Welshman, Adrian Hadley, limping off. We'll get the news on that as soon as we can. In fact, Bill, Arthur's got news of Adrian Hadley and everything else said at half-time. Bill?
Adrian Hadley is looking very groggy indeed. He's just weaving around on his feet and being helped by a couple of Widnes officials. He's got a nasty gash on the bridge of his nose. I think that's the main damage, and he's waiting to come off. He should, technically, he wants to be blood-binned. Darren Wright is waiting to come on, but of course, referee John Connolly has to actually make that decision. Widnes can't do it themselves. It has got to come from the man in the middle. So poor old Adrian Hadley is being kept on the pitch when it's quite apparent that he should be off the pitch rapidly, and they're just waiting and hoping to attract the referee's attention.
David Ruane picks it up. There is Hadley. Well, all the referee needs to do is have a glance at the Widnes winger, and he will be in the blood bin, there's no doubt about that. And they're trying to make the referee aware of Hadley's predicament, and the referee holds up the green and white card. So it is a blood bin substitution. That means it won't count, providing they patch Hadley up and push him back onto the field within 15 minutes. And what's more, he replaces the man who has replaced him. That's Darren Wright, who appears on the scene.
Plenty of experience with Darren Wright. They certainly won't lose much there. Oh, that looked pretty high. Gee, Gary Rose went in pretty heavy. The prop forward, Ireland felt it. Oh, that's no place to be poking your nose, Eddie.
McCurry, and here's Myler. That's Collier. McCurry now to Singleton, and Hammond helps it on wider to Hume. David Hume, as Steve-O mentioned first half, what a servant he's been. Hammond, one for the future. Good ball, Singleton. Escapes the clutches of Sharp, but can't get away from those two. Rose with the headband, and Tim Street. Hammond was fed by McCurry, gets the pass away. Widnes trying to keep it alive, and that...
Accidental offside. Will he take the first knock on, which should be coming up now? As he deemed it. Now that was accidental offside. And he's deemed it that a knock-on from that Hull player. More pressure for Hull.
Widnes starting the second half like Hull began the first. Intense pressure on this Hull line. Widnes with a very strong wind at their backs.
Plenty to say, the two prop forwards, Ireland and Street, they've been at each other all the game.
News, by the way, from the bench, Steve-O, is that Tony Myler says that first half for Widnes is the worst that he's seen his team play in 3 months.
Well, we said he'd have plenty to say at the half-time break. Let's see if it works.
David Hume has scuttled away from the back of the scrum. Sharp and Rose, the men who bring him down. There's Darren Wright, the dummy half. Hammond now will bring it back this way. Then he gets it to Devereux. Great expectancy every time Devereux gets the ball. McCurry trying to bustle his way over.
That looked forward. McCurry overran that, I'm sure.
Hammond again. Hume wanted it and got it short. Hume almost through. That's Broadbent, the fullback, who's chimed into the line. McCurry, Hammond. Hammond still, Hammond on his own. Thought about pushing the pass out. Couldn't get it away. Widnes so close. McCurry dabs it through. Singleton, and Singleton with the try. McCurry dabbed it through, and the Australian Anthony Singleton, his 4th try of the season, and that puts Widnes level.
Nice option. The kick through, out it came to McCurry. It came off a Hull player. It was play on. Oh, he tantalising. He just got it before the whitewash. You need a little bit of luck in these days. He came off Sharp's feet. The Australian gleefully accepts the 4. We have a game and a half.
Indeed so. It's level pegging. Anthony Singleton's try makes it 12 all. The former Barrow man, 11 tries in 20 for the 2nd Division outfit last season. 4 tries now for Widnes this season. And that's a valuable 4 points. Change of kicker. Adrian Hadley's off with his nose receiving treatment. So Hammond with this attempt, and he's pushed it wide of the post. Oh, that could be a vital 2 points that goes a-begging for Widnes. Level pegging at Norton Park, 12 all.
A kick through, you can see there's no one at home. And when it came with there, the fullback didn't move across. They were caught short there.
Anthony Singleton then, the Australian, has also played standoff, hooker and loose forward for the club this season. And the word is that Adrian Hadley, they think, has got a broken nose.
Wouldn't surprise me to see the gash that had opened up. And that was one of the few occasions that the Hull wingers didn't fold back into the in-goal area. The fullback had taken the position. It's his normal position for the kick in and around the post area. And it was just left open once it came off Sharp's leg. Singleton gleefully went in for the 4.
You can see how strong this wind is at Norton Park tonight. That ball just blown off the little mountain of sand and rolled back, a good metre and a half. And apparently we're told by Bill Arthur on the pitch side that it's like a dust bowl down there. There's been a lot of sand put on this Norton Park pitch during the course of this season, and it's almost like a sandstorm down there. Bit of a dust bowl, Norton Park. How about Jim Mills's plan to sell pieces of the ground? They take them down to nearby Southport Beach.
Yeah, I think he'll sell it in buckets.
Singleton, try scorer. His try has put them level. Lovely break here from Myler. Paul Myler drops the ball. Oh, and bravery then. Real bravery from Devereux as he stopped this kick. Attempted clearance.
Oh. Fingertips. Whack. The boot was going for it.
Touch of the Bruce Grobbelaars there. Hammond gives it to Ireland. McCurry off the ground to Singleton, into the arms of Hammond. The runner was Hume. He gets the ball away again to Myler.
Gee, these delayed passes from Widnes, that's the 3rd that they've got away with. They're running a fine line. Connolly's giving them the benefit of the doubt.
A few times that's happened. Mackenzie tried to get boot to it, and all he could do was just slice it straight into touch. It'll be a Widnes head and feed.
Well, Widnes have to realise, even though they've got this gale force wind to their advantage, it's going to blow the ball away. They can't afford to throw out long passes out wide. The wind will definitely take it away from the man receiving it.
Hammond, and here's David Ruane, gets away from Nolan. David's after him, so too was Richard Gay. And look at the possession Widnes enjoying at the start of this second half. That's why they're level pegging at 12 all. 10 minutes of this second half now gone. Hammond, David Hume, the runner there is the second rower, Collier, who scores. Collier with the try. Terrific effort that from Widnes. David Hume injected the pace and fired out the vital pass.
Beautiful play from the loose forward, David Hume. Running the angle, once again the sliding defence. They didn't take the dummy. They sucked in Johan Windley. The big second rower in for a great try. Andy Collier enjoyed that. Notice how Windley doesn't get slide across, he hangs off. He then commits himself, it's too late. You've got to go in one line. Sliding defence is fine as long as you all know what you're doing.
Andy Collier with the try. He joined Widnes from Lee in the summer. His last game for Lee was a 16 points to 70 beating at Hull. Well, he's got across the whitewash for 4 here. That gives Widnes the lead for the first time. 16-12 it is. Oh, and Hammond, just as he went to kick that ball, it fell off the sand, blew off. Good job, he just managed to stop in mid-stride. Otherwise that ball wouldn't have got off the ground. Difficult conditions these for goal kickers. Hammond tried to swing it in on the wing. Oh, that's a great kick. Carl Hammond, well, he can play a bit, he can kick a goal too. One off the touchline in awful conditions for kickers. Widnes with a 6-point lead.
You'll see Windley move forward, but then he hesitates and hangs off. Look at that. And that's enough. He has to commit himself too late. The wing has gone out wide, the gap is there, and that's well taken. That is a well-engineered try.
Former Amateur Player of the Year in 1986, Andy Collier. He joined a list that includes the likes of Andy Gregory, Derek Fox, and David Heron. Waiting for Hull to restart this game, and John Connolly had his hands over his eyes then, because the dust really is blowing up now off the middle of that pitch.
Hull have got to use this wind to their advantage also, and that means that a high bomb forced at an angle so that it will hold in mid-air. Well, this is becoming farcical, isn't it?
Yes, the referee wants someone to hold the ball on the spot, and the fullback Kevin Gray obliges. McNamara restarts, and look at the way that ball is blown back. But for Hull, it's blown back all the way to the halfway line, courtesy of Nolan's pat back.
Well, that's what the doctor ordered.
But at least they've got the ball back.
Well, that's what I said. Send it up at the angle, and the wind's going to drag it back to them. They're not out of it this game, don't worry.
Dixon gives it now to Shah. 2 tackles gone, and Hull have made 18 metres ground. Dixon again. McNamara will pound it into that Widnes defence.
Hull have had little possession in the second half, but they've got to stick the 6 together.
This is the first time, really, and that was a good ball from Richard Gay to Gary Nolan. Mia David to Tim Street. Tim Street tucks the ball under his arm and takes them on. That's the last tackle. It's now with Windley. Long ball out wide. Looking for Vicona, and Vicona's in. Oh, and we called Jason Green out of defence, and he was past him. Jason Green came out, looked to take the tackle, and Vicona just almost shimmied his hips and got round him. Vicona's put Hull back in this.
What a wonderful... I just can't believe how Vicona got round Green. In and out there. Oh, Green should have taken him out. Beautiful step inside. You could see the look of amazement on Gary Broadbent, the full back. But what a lovely pass out wide. Johan Windley. He had a great first 40 minutes. He judged it to perfection. He let the wind take it back inside. Oh, beautiful balance. The Kiwi has put Hull back in the game.
Very much so. Tavita Vaikona, his 8th try of the season. Remember, 2 tries won the game at Featherstone, and tries in 3 of Hull's 4 wins so far. Well, Steve McNamara now having trouble with getting that ball to sit calmly on the little mountain of sand. Mike Dixon is jogging up to add the little fingertip control. Referee stopped the clock, and you really can see the dust and the sand blowing up off this pitch. The wind, if anything, is getting stronger as we speak. Well, this is a vital kick. That's how strong the wind is, and McNamara kicking right into the teeth of that gale. Normally this would be easy, but not tonight. But he's kicked it, and I tell you what, we have got a game here. 18 all now.
Last tackle, you can see the Widnes defenders, they expected the kick high. Long ball out wide. There was only Green to stop him, and he couldn't. He should have. Lovely step. Beautiful balance there. Vaikona. Super try. It may sound like some sort of coffee, but that was well played.
And that just shows what the wind can do. It plays tricks with the ball in the air. It plays tricks with the ball on the ground. From the kick-off, the ball just bouncing and bobbling and helped on by this strong gale. Watch this. Well, he got out of the way, Windley, didn't he?
Well, he won't get many credits from his coaches there. From one Windley to another Windley. The coach, Phil, will have told Johan there to make sure that next time he makes sure to get it. They won't get much distance with this.
Ruane just wheels it in 30 metres from the Hull line. That's a good chase by Windley and by Nolan. Mile is off, and Mike O'Neill, 34-year-old, has come on. Mike O'Neill back here at Widnes after a spell at Leeds, of course, last season. This is Makin.
Good defence though from Hull. They're moving in. They're making sure that the one's going low, the other one going high, and stop the pass.
Devereaux struggles to get free. He's almost tackled there by David Hume as well as everybody else. Hume's in a dummy half. This is Singleton, and that pass was in front of Hammond and Nolan. Smart work from the Hull centre.
Well, that was the problem that I said that Widnes are going to face. Look how the wind just drifted that away. They can't afford to send out long passes. The wind will torment them all this second half.
Leroy McKenzie, Hull back in the Widnes half of the field. Windley bringing the ball back this way. Good run from Windley, that. Looked outside him. McKenzie had just drifted infield. Dixon is the dummy half. Rose, and Street drops it. It's a bad error from Tim Street.
It certainly was. Gary Rose was going on the run around. Tim Street, rather than taking it forward, he was a pivot man.
Mike O'Neill, the substitute, plays the ball. McCurry gets it to David Hume. Hume pops it up into the arms of Devereaux. Oh, referee has pinned Tim Street for the challenge.
Pretty high, wasn't it? Right into the neck, and a few words have been said. They've lost their marbles a little bit. They really shouldn't have back-chatted to the referee. And this will give them a chance.
There has been a little bit of talking going on between Tim Street, number 8, and John Devereaux, the man that he's just put the high tackle in on. I noticed them earlier on before. Devereaux was wagging a finger. And Tim Street now is shaking his head. He can't believe he's been pulled, first of all, for the penalty. But it was high on Devereaux, no doubt about that.
Went right over the top, the left arm. See the head shudder back.
Last thing you need if you've had a broken jaw, isn't it?
Well, that certainly would have tested it. The last thing the Hull wanted was to give away another 10 metres.
Hammond, the ball shot off his boot, bounced off the roof of the terracing behind there and went out of the ground.
Well, it is a problem now for Hull. They know that they cannot gain big metres with the kick. It's all about rolling the sleeves up. Good, hard, honest work.
That's not bad, really. The kick up to halfway. It was punched underneath the wind. Oh, Tim Street again was a bit high, and Widnes are complaining. That tackle on Broadbent, the referee said it came off his chest. Singleton juggling with it. The ball went backwards, so he's able to carry on.
Good scampering run from the halfback. This is another tackle. It was on the shoulder. Had a good view of it, Connolly.
Jason Green here now trying to make amends for missing that tackle that allowed Vicona to score a few minutes ago. Hammond running straight.
I can't understand why Widnes have stopped using the tactics of McCurry running from dummy half.
Off the floor into the arms of Hume. This now is Makin. Strength from Makin. Support from Devereux. Devereux's head went back as he took that challenge also. And he's injured Devereux. This is McCurry. McCurry looking to fire a long pass out wide. This is Broadbent. Broadbent, they've got men out wide. It's Green. And Green is in. Jason Green makes amends. He conceded 4 with a poor tackle at one end, and he's come up with his second try in Widnes' colours at the other. Widnes are back in front.
Once again, Widnes, second effort on the last tackle. Elected to run with the ball. It was good play by Steve McCurry. He kept it alive. There was a long ball out there. The fullback did well. Broadbent loves to chime in. He's a difficult customer to put down. And when the ball out there, look at Vicona. He was sucked in there. There was 2 Widnes men could have taken it. But it was Jason Green that said, I've got your back, mate. Lovely pass this. See how the dummy there, and you'll see Vicona come in. But he should have gone out. There was no one at home. You didn't have to knock on the door. That's the Green door and the 4 points.
Jason Green's try. Hammond trying to improve it. And the flags go up, and the roar tells you that Carl Hammond's kicked another cracker off the touchline, this time the other side. Widnes 24, Hull 18. (24-18), the try from Green, and Hammond with the extra 2. And what a change in Carl Hammond. They've transformed him from a centre to a stand-off half this season. And he really has been the discovery of what has been a very difficult campaign here at Norton Park.
They were given the chances. Some of these youngsters really have taken them. As you mentioned, Eddie, Carl Hammond, Gary Broadbent, stars of the future.
Here's Jason Green. Well, we're in the last quarter of this match. And Hull, well, they really do come strong. Last quarter. And Widnes, well, they tend to fade a little bit.
Well, they've got the lead now, Widnes. This is where they want to be electing to boot the field and use this strong wind.
Touch judge is on. Gary Nolan has tangled here with David Ruane. Maybe that was it, the little use of the elbow, once and then twice.
The little forearm into the face, trying to plant the nose. Well, a lack of composure there from an experienced player. Nolan should have known better than that at a time when they were desperate for position in the field of play. Last thing he wanted to do was give away a penalty in this strong wind. Here it is again, forearm over the nose. It's not in the tackling manual.
So Hull there have conceded quite a bit of territory to Widnes. 10-5 the penalty count. Makin trying to drill his way into the danger zone, into the red zone, as Bobby Fulton says. This is Ireland. And Widnes maintaining a stranglehold in terms of possession, considering the fact that they've got so much possession. Only 6 points the gap.
What a great tackle there from Maya David. Crunch time again.
Oh, the interception. This is Nolan. He's got McKenzie with him, but Jason Green's after him.
Well, when are Widnes going to realise they can't send floating passes out in this gale force wind? This is committing suicide. You wouldn't do that on a sunny day with no wind.
And the penalty was given for holding Gary Nolan down in the tackle. So Hull still in possession just inside the Widnes half. But when Nolan got that ball, he must have looked up and seen the post the other end with that gale in his face. I don't think he had the power to get through the gale, and that's why he was caught. Here's Tim Street. I'll tell you what, this match is up for the winning, isn't it? Go Jackson. Still going, Jackson. Good strong run from the Hull sub.
They just held off him.
Last tackle, Dixon fires the pass. Windley with a little kick through, and Broadbent is able to gather the possession, but is collared behind his own line. It'll be a dropout.
It's a neat kick from Windley. There's also good work from Richard Gay, his half-back partner. He's had a fine game though, hasn't he? The full-back Gary Broadbent. So is this chap. Young Johan Windley.
Well, Carl Hammond would be expecting to get some length on this ball. He's bound to give it plenty of air, and the wind gets behind it, and it takes it, and its first bounce 10 metres inside the Hull half. Windley gives it to Gray, and off goes the young Hull full-back, followed by Ruane.
Well, as I mentioned before, they really have got to grit their teeth. Oh, good run from dummy half.
Vicona. Savita Vicona taking on Broadbent, and Broadbent, not for the first time tonight, he stands up well to the challenge. This is Richard Gay. Now John Sharp stepping through the challenges. Well, Hull now on the offensive with Jackson. Dixon, the dummy half, attacking this side. He's got Mackenzie, but he goes alone and scores. The referee has not given it. He said it's a knock-on.
Either that or a double movement, is it? Dixon did well to get on the outside. Yes, he released it. It is a knock-on. Either way, I suspect he would have been given out for a double movement. But wonderful play from Hull. They are not throwing the towel in. Well, we said it was going to be close, Eddie, but I think this will go down to the wire.
Well, you tipped a 1-point drop goal to win it for Widnes. But you see there, Mike Dixon just lost control of the ball as he bounced over the line. And someone's on his way to the bin, Richard Gay. He's got 10 minutes in the sin bin, Richard Gay.
Well, they have been warned there. Now, this is the second occasion that they've given away a silly penalty. Just lost his marbles there. The second attempt. He knows he's done wrong. All right, they can get away with it. But why take the risk? All that hard work. Two great busts down the field, and they throw it all away.
Richard Gay must watch the next 10 minutes from the dugout. He's in the sin bin. Hull now down to 12 men again. And a real chance here now for Widnes to push on and win this match. But how often have the 12 men dug deep on their reserves and snapped back and scored the other end?
Happens a lot.
I was going to say then, Steve, McCurry looking again to fire a long pass out wide.
Well, you can see that in this passage of play that the message has got out from their coach Tony Myler. They've kept him pretty tight in the forwards.
Hammond applied the break, stepped through, and Hammond scores a great try. Oh, this fella's a star of the future, Carl Hammond. He applied the brakes, the entire Hull defence went left, Hammond came right, and he waltzed in behind the post.
I don't know about building a new ground. They should build a chemist shop. Look at the dummies at the take here. He just stops, throws it inside. They all go inside. Windley says go for him. I'm afraid that Gary Nolan made a real meal of it. He's happy. As Eddie mentioned, Carl Hammond, a great find this season. They kept it tight. No chance of a long ball on this occasion, but just look at the dummy there. On the inside, good balance, beautiful skills from the youngster. That should seal it.
And Hammond adds the extras also. Quite a night for Carl Hammond. And Widnes hit the 30 mark. 30 points to 18 and Hull down to 12 men, remember.
You could see he had plenty of markers there. And there was nothing you could do about it. Beautiful step inside. Oh, that is tremendous stuff.
18 tries now this season for Carl Hammond, under 21 international. He's played 6 for the last 12 games for Widnes, and that's 10 tries in his last 8 matches. He is the Chemic's top scorer. Devereux from dummy half. Again prepared to take them on, Devereux. And that battle royal continues between Street and Devereux. Here's McCurry.
He knows what's needed. Runs from dummy half now. They're moving it right. Hard work in the forwards from Widnes, and then the big boot. That's it. Oh, well done, Ruane. Oh, he shouldn't really have passed it. That was a big risk.
He got away with it, Darren Wright. Looking round, spinning in the tackle as Windley failed to put into ground first time. No one there in support. Here's Hammond. High kick from Hammond. Anything can happen here in this wind. Devereux went for it. The ball bounced, and Hammond's followed up, and Vicona has been rolled over his own line almost. Just managed to stay in the field of play.
Well, not only skills there from Hammond in attack, but in defence also. They're fired up now. It's a slow start. Had a few problems early in this game, but Widnes, they've built in confidence. I think a few words of wisdom of half-time from Tony Myler, their coach, has certainly worked. He mentioned that Myler said that it was the worst 40 minutes he'd seen from his side this season.
You can see the problem that both sides are having. Look at that kick downfield. Mind you say it's a problem. It's not a problem for Hull if it comes back into their possession. They've come up with it here with Mia David. He's got support from Windley. Windley has support from Sharp. That was a great ball from Windley to the second rower. It was on the last tackle. The kick ahead fell perfectly because of this wind for Hull, and they almost capitalised.
Good play from David there. Back on the inside, Windley support. And the elderly John Sharp, don't want to be disrespectful to him, but it would have been nice if a three-quarter would have been there on that last pass.
Elderly? John Sharp's 28, he'll thank you for that afterwards. What does that make you and me if he's elderly?
Continue.
McCurry's the dummy half. Here's Hugh. Now Andy Ireland.
He's worked hard, hasn't he, the big prop forward there. Taking the ball up.
Jason Green forward. Devereux, I think, to hold it. Last tackle here for Widnes. Hammond, forward pass. Ruane thought he was in. Hammond puts the forward pass in.
Definitely a forward pass. They have run the tightrope on quite a few occasions in the second half. They got away with most. 50-50 chances going their way. Not on that occasion.
Halfway through the sin bin sentence for Richard Gay. 12 points is the gap.
Well, it's not a pun, Eddie, in this strong wind, but Hull have got to do that. They've got to throw caution to the wind. They've got to really tuck the chances. Try all the set moves.
Well, they're clawing their way back in terms of possession, but they're still 2 tries away in terms of at least a point. It's back to 0 on the tackle count. David has it. The referee has ruled
offside. Well, has he done the knock on? Well, he's given the knock on there. Oh, dearly me. That appeared to go backwards in my book.
That's why I paused. It looked a bit harsh if it was knock on.
Well, the substitute won't be happy with that. Neither with Hull fans.
Rob Danby not able to wheel that pass in. Referee puts the scrum down. Tim Street has been withdrawn. It's been a battle royal between him and John Devereux. Gary Rose has come on. Returned from the bench. There's Mike O'Neill, the Widnes substitute. We have 6 plus stoppages, and there'll be a little bit of that because the referee's held up the clock every time there's been a problem with the wind. This now is Darren Wright. This is Andy Ireland, and I think that's 2 points and safety for Widnes at the bottom of the table. Andy Ireland with the try, and Widnes now, I think, will breathe a sigh of relief. that they are going to be playing big league football again next season. But what about Hull?
Fully deserved, just reward for a very hard game, but it was a beautiful run from Steve McCurry. He's played his part. Darren Wright kept his cool. He drew the full back, and the big prop forward. You always say prop forwards normally have a rest when it gets out into three quarters, but not on that occasion.
Hammond adds another 2. And Hammond jogging back after the try from Andy Ireland. It's remarkable. Ireland has not scored all season, and then he gets 2 in successive matches.
Well, there you see McCurry for once going into the first man position. Wasn't the best attempted tackle, but look at that. Cool, calm and collected from the substitute Wright. The big prop forward, and enjoy that.
Andy Ireland with the score, 4 extra points, another 2 added by Carl Hammond. It's 36-18 in Widnes' favour. Steve-O, this match turned on that try right on the stroke of half-time from this fellow, John Devereux. That was a turning point for mine.
I have to agree with you. They elected to run on the 6th tackle. They kept it alive. Devereux just lost that. Good work there from the hooker, Mike Dixon. Bang on the wrist by the looks of things.
Yeah, just feeling his wrist, Devereux.
Well, a much better performance by Widnes' second half.
David Hume has been withdrawn by Tony Myler, and Paul Myler has come on. And the bad news is that David Hume has got a suspected broken thumb. Well, that will not do Widnes any favours as they battle towards the end of the season. But I rather fancy now, Steve-O, with these 2 points safely in the bag, Widnes, their first division lives are assured for another season at least.
And it looks as though the team that they're playing against tonight is well and truly doomed. They're hanging on to the thread. Of course, they play on Wednesday night at the Boulevard against Widnes. That was a forward pass, perhaps.
He's got them, I think, for moving off the mark or crossing.
Pretty high tackle as well from the centre, David Ruane. That's why the penalty was given, the swinging right arm over the top. To be fair, though, you've got to give both sides credit. Gale force wind, difficult conditions. It's been a cracker.
Yes, they've done well, and Hull will look back on the start that they had and wonder how on earth it slipped away. Here's John Sharp. Good tackling by David Ruane and John Devereux. Bit of experience there for Widnes. Perhaps that's the reason why it has slipped away. And certainly, as I said, for mine, the turning point coming right on half-time. Richard Gay with a lovely ball in field to Kevin Gray. And it was Andy Collier who had to haul the young full-back down. Mike Dixon hasn't given up all night, neither has Windley. He dabs it through. Broadbent picks it up, bravely keeps the ball in the field of play.
It's been a highlight, these 2 youngsters, full-backs, Gary Broadbent and Kevin Gray. They've worked very, very, very hard in awful conditions. Blustery wind, it just blows the ball around all the time. Widnes quite happy now and content. Runs from the dummy half, the first man, just the forwards. Here's a big kick.
Controlling it now, aren't they?
He'd all the time in the world. Gave himself plenty of space, realising the power of the wind would just take it along. Eat up the seconds. Are we looking at a future Great Britain standoff? It's been quite some time since we've unearthed a youngster in that position.
Well, he's got a very good coach, hasn't he? Former great standoff half for Widnes and Great Britain, Tony Myler. And if he can feed off all that experience, Carl Hammond is only 20. And mind you, Leroy Mackenzie will not want to see that moment again as he knocked that ball on. But the scrum goes down again and more pressure here on Hull. 36-18. Inside the last minute, Darren Wright Rushes away from Nolan, and Darren Wright's in. Wright is in for the try. That's 40 points for Widnes for the second match in a row. The substitute, his 8th try of the season. He's missed only 2 throughout this campaign, and that certainly sealed this one.
A dispirited Hull defence. See going very high, not the best attempt to tackle. They realise they are in desperate trouble. Darren Wright won't score an easier try than that for quite some time. They just held off. Simple basic football. The dummy, handoff there, 2 men trying to get for 1. Not the best attempted tackle, but let's not take anything away from the skills of Darren Wright. He's been around for quite some time. He'll enjoy that.
And Carl Hammond adds the extras. That's 42 points for Widnes and 18 for Hull. And Hull will be wondering where on earth it's all gone wrong. But gone wrong it has. They have 5 matches left. And they have 5 matches left in the First Division. And Darren Wright, he knows, I think, along with many people now in the big league, that Humberside, quite unbelievably, will have 2 sides in Division 2 next season.
Not the best scenario for the Humberside.
Well, almost unthinkable, isn't it? When you think that just 4 years ago these 2 great clubs were contesting the Premiership final at Old Trafford. Hull, when Brian Smith left them, were top of the table. They've gone through successive coaches. They've gone through the horrors. And Hull now almost unthinkable, but they are as good as in the second division.
You can see the wind taking it down. Widnes will be quite happy with that, even though the ball will be come to the quarter, the restart. They realise that Hull's got a lot of problems.
Hull have a lot of problems. Widnes, their problems, I think, are behind them. They are certain just about now of a place in the Premier League next season. Carl Hammond, a true star in the making here at Norton Park, learning his trade at standoff of one of the best. They have their stars on Humberside too. Johan Windley has tried his hardest all night, the young teenager. But John Devereux's try right on the stroke of half-time turned the tide irreversibly for Widnes, and they have run out comfortable winners in the end. Widnes 42, Hull 18, and Hull on their way, tragically, to Division 2.